Nothing like breaking somebody in on districts or regionals.
Now for the starting lineups, the Lady Tigers getting ready to come out along with Lady Bulldogs. We're going to have well, the national anthem there, and now we're getting ready for the starting lineups. Prairie Grove comes in as the number 1 seed from the 1-4A. The number 4 seed from the 4-4A is the Waldron Lady Bulldogs. Prairie Grove's making, I believe, it's their 9th straight regional appearance. And I believe it's their 5th in a row as the number 1 seed, Jake. I think it's been 5 years in a row we've come in as the number 1 seed in this tournament.
Tell you what, middle part of this year, I don't think anybody thought we were going to be the number 1 seed, but a little miracle in Farmington.
Absolutely. Number 11 for Waldron, Tori Watkins. Number 14, Nikki Harrison. Number 22, Emily Black, comes onto the floor as part of the starting lineup. 5'9" senior. Number 24, Lindsay Stamps. Number 32, Ashley Sims, completes the starting lineup for the Lady Bulldogs. They are coached by Chris Vigil, assisted by Monique Gorman. And now for our Lady Tigers, tonight's starting lineup, coached by Kevin Froud, assisted by Shelly Dugan. Will be the home team, be coming in as the 1 seed. Five sophomore Taylor Hart. 5'6" senior, number 11, Abby Smith. And Abby's really come on, guys, here since tournament time, really being a big difference in the game. Number 24, Macy Colchin, a 5'6" senior. Lacey Beeks. Lacey's playing in her 4th regional tournament. And Callie Robinson coming in, starting senior. So the Lady Tigers are starting 4 seniors and a sophomore today. And Derek, what do you see from this game from what you've been able to learn?
Well, I think the main thing is we just got to come out and play like we're capable of playing. I think everybody, at least that I've talked to, kind of gets the feeling that if we will come out and play our game and just not try to do too much and not take Waldron too lightly, this is a game that I think we should win and should advance, to be honest with you. I mean, Waldron comes in as a 4 seed. We're going to be a heavily favored team, but that's not saying they can't come in and pull off an upset. We've got to come out and play tonight.
I'm looking at the officiating crew. I think this is the officiating crew we had Valentine's night, if I'm not mistaken. I know.
Yeah, 2 out of the 3 for sure, Lynn. Yeah.
Well, Lady Tigers control the tip. Beeks gives it to Abby Smith. Abby drives. Gives it to Robinson. There's Colchin. In and out. Rebound's going to be knocked out to Abby Smith, and they'll start over again. Now Colchin driving baseline. Back out, Colton again going baseline. Nice defense that time by the Lady Bulldogs. Abby Smith driving the lane, floater, no good. Rebound goes to the Lady Bulldogs.
I dropped by practice yesterday, and one of the big worries for Coach Froud that he had on this particular Bulldog team was you'll see them do a lot of motion offense, and they really want to attack the nail. The nail is the center point of the lane. They want to take it right down to the middle of the lane. That's where they do the best damage. But I think this is one of the teams that when you look at them, athlete for athlete, we're not outsized, and I think we probably can outspeed them. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. But if we stop that motion offense, that's what Coach Froud's looking for us to do today.
And you've noticed already in the game to begin to do that. Phil Hudspeth watching from Gainesville, Georgia. Anybody else watching today, please go to pgtigersonline.com, the comments tab, and let us know where you're watching from. It's regional time. We like to know who's watching us. Nice drive by Colchin. She's going to be fouled. Looks like they're going to call on the floor, if I'm not mistaken.
Lindsay Stamps with that foul.
That's the first foul of the game, comes at 6:23. Now Abby Smith going with a 3. Bottom! Yeah. There we go. Lady Tigers going to provide pressure right off the start. Nice shot, no good. Rebound goes to, nice steal that time by Stamps, and Stamps puts it up and in. Lindsay Stamps took it away from Robinson that time.
I think one of the things we kind of have to play in the waiting game and see is we'll have to see what sort of reaction Waldron has to our defense. I don't think down in their part of the state they see a whole lot of heavy pressure like they're going to see not a whole lot of man-to-man like they're going to see here today.
Well, you're right, Jake. They're going into the right in the middle of the lane each time. There's three-pointer, no good. Rebound goes to Watkins, and she gets it out quickly to Sims. Sims bringing it down the court, looking. Long pass. Back to Stamps. Stamps, no good. Rebound goes to Beeks. And throws it away, but then Robinson comes up with it. Callie Robinson lays it up and in. It wasn't pretty, but it's a basket, Derek.
Well, we talked about Callie being around the ball in the right places at the right time. That one is a perfect example of basically Callie's career as Beeks comes away with the steal in the full court.
And there we go. Beeks lays it up in. It's 7-2. Lady Tigers pressure already getting to the Lady Bulldogs. Almost a steal by Robinson. So the Lady Bulldogs do get it past the timeline. And now Colton will be called for reach-in.
Is anybody else a little weirded out with us being on the listed on the scoreboard as Wolves?
I was noticing the crowd over there. Waldron, I know they're a long way from home, but they brought about 10 fans, it looks like. So it's kind of nice to have a regional up here in our neck of the woods for once.
Yeah, it's been a while because
it has
even the last time I think we had a regional for our there's Beeks, bottom.
We went all the way across the state last year.
Well, we went across the state, but then the year before, when it was in our 1-4A, I think it was Ozarks. So
yeah.
We still had a little bit of a trip. So it's been a while since we've had one up this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
I think it would have been 2010 in Farmington. That would have been the last time that we had one reasonably close.
Waldron calls a timeout. I guess they're going to regroup 10-2. Kind of feeling a little bit of the Prairie Grove Tiger blitz here.
Well, it's 10-2, and two of those are three-pointers. One by Abby Smith, one by Lacey Beeks. We had a steal by Robinson, and then I believe who else got the
Beeks
first
got the
one?
other steal.
Yep. And I think Waldron's plan coming into the game, at least that first possession that they had defensively, was to pack it in a little bit. And that really opened up the opportunity for us to take some outside shots, and probably going to force the Waldron defense to make an adjustment, come out and guard us from the perimeter after those quick 2 3-pointers that we've had.
And they're going to get Colchin. Colchin comes up with her second foul, I believe. Or is that her first?
Second. Yep. Well, at least I thought it was going to be her second. The scoreboard just shows 1.
I thought it
we'll
was her
take the
second
scoreboard.
foul.
Yeah. I don't know who they called the first one on. If we're not
We
going
have
to say
2
anything
team
yet.
fouls, and she's got them both. So
Shot on the way, and that rolls in.
Nikki Harrison with that basket.
Nikki had a nice roll with that one. 10-4, Lady Tigers. Just under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Harton with the ball. There they go again, Jake. Looking to the center. There's Abby Smith for 3. No, off the mark that time, and Harrison comes down with a rebound and quickly bringing it down the court. Emily Black gives it back to Harrison. Black throws up a 3. She's got it. 3-pointer for Black, and the 10-2 lead is now 10-7.
Yeah, good response for the Waldron team. They didn't panic. They had a couple of turnovers and full court pressure, but they come back down and executed well in the half court.
Now Beeks, nice move, pull up jumper, no good. Rebound's gonna go out of bounds, but goes to the Lady Bulldogs. 3:10 to go here in the first. Lady Tigers up 10-7.
Oh, wow.
Nice job, but off the front of the rim. No call there, and Lady Tigers come up with it. Get it to Beeks. Beeks, oh, you got to like the numbers we got here. Beeks pull-up jumper, no good. Sims bringing it down, and she's got room there. She didn't attack it, though.
And I think the pace of play right now favors the Lady Tigers. We've got them in a full court game. We don't want them to slow it down. You can tell from the strategy here by Coach Froud. He's wanting the game to speed up and be a fast-paced game.
And off the backboard, that's Harrison again. She's had 2 baskets in a row, and 7 straight points for the Lady Bulldogs have closed the lead to 1. Looked early, guys, like we were going to pull away quick, but the Lady Bulldogs said, no, we're not going to do that.
You know, it is early, though. We haven't gotten the looks that we want, but I'll tell you what, you're beginning to get the feel like the Tigers are playing down a little bit, and there may be a little bit of a lull after the last game you play is in front of a packed house in Farmington and all that stuff's going on. So,
yeah, our last 2 games have been a ton of emotion.
Oh,
matter of fact, the last 3 out of the last 4 games,
they take the lead.
They just took the lead with that shot. 8 straight points or 9 straight points for the Lady Bulldogs, and there's a drive block, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, it's going to be on Stamps. Stamps' first foul, team.
And you know that should be the second one on
second
Stamps.
Foul on Stamps, team second. So Lady Tigers with a 10-2 lead now trail 11-10, and that one rolls in. We're all tied up at 11. Colchin comes back in.
It's giving Abby a little break.
Yes, especially if Macy's just got 1 foul.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I thought she
We're
had
going to have to keep an eye on that scoreboard up there.
We're all tied up at 11 as Hart makes 1 of 2 free throws. 1:35 to go here in the first quarter.
I'll tell you this, at what we're seeing on our end of the floor on the defensive side, if the intensity level isn't picked up, we might be able to hear Coach Proud out here at halftime. Because he's not getting what he wants. That after last year's game, going down there, the whole boxing out thing, that's been a big emphasis. We were one box out away from having a state championship.
And that was really the first.
Bottom for Beeks. Hey, look at there, 14-11, minute to go. We needed that, and let's something picks up a little bit. Oh. Coach Froud is in tournament form. He is in tournament form now.
Lynn, I remember the first game we webcasted this year was at home against Greenland, and I remember thinking the same thing about Coach Froud. He was already in tournament form game one right out of the gates.
Bree Bartholomew and Greg watching and listening from work. Hope I don't get you in trouble, Bree.
Have that other screen open just in case.
Major Ogilvy in Springdale. I think I know who that one is.
Oh, nice play by Maddie.
Derek, I believe Major Ogilvy would be, that's Henry, our boy Henry.
Oh, Henry's back.
Well, I think he's actually watching down in Alabama somewhere.
Well, we're sorry for you then, Henry. Sorry.
Did he get caught shoplifting?
14-11, Lady Tigers up, 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 3-point on the way by Maddie Hart, short.
We just kind of get an idea or wonder, that's two from that side. Is it just something about this gym that they're just not used to seeing, maybe the perception?
I was going to say, sometimes when you're in a new gym, although we have played here once this year, sometimes the depth perception is a little bit different. I'm looking at that back wall, or the side wall, actually, and from that side, yeah, that may be a little play into it a little bit, Jake.
You're right, though. There's been two over there.
Me being the prolific three-pointer that I am.
See, you got on to me last game for talking about rotation, and here you are. You're bringing out depth perception on us this afternoon.
That was a prayer.
Ashley Sims makes the basket, 14-13. 3 seconds to go.
Need to shoot it up.
Shots on the way. No good. Well, after one quarter of play, the Lady Tigers stormed out to a 10-2 lead, and the Lady Bulldogs came back, took an 11-10 lead, and we end the first quarter. Lady Tigers 14, Lady Bulldogs 13. Back after this.
Clorox. Just hearing the name and you automatically think of the word clean. And Clorox is a lot more than just bleach. The Clorox family of products has something for the home, the business, professional grade, and more. No matter what the environment, Clorox has the product you need to meet your unique challenges. From the bathroom and the kitchen with Pine Sol and 409 to the laundry room with the standard Clorox bleach. And even if you're on the go with hearing the name and you automatically think of the word clean. And Clorox is a lot more than just bleach. The Clorox family of products has something for the home, the business, professional grade, and more. No matter what the environment, Clorox has the product you need to meet your unique challenges. From the bathroom and the kitchen with Pine Sol and 409 to the laundry room with the standard Clorox bleach. And even if you're on the go with the Clorox wipes, you know the name stands for clean. Dirt and germs don't stand a chance as long as you're equipped with the family of Clorox products. Clorox, proud sponsors of Tiger athletics and activities.
Okay, we're back for the second quarter. 14-13, Lady Tigers with the lead. Lady Bulldogs with it, the drive. And, Beeks just...
I don't think she was ready for it.
I think, yeah, it's like, I got a pass. Didn't anticipate it.
Well, you got to think Waldron feels good about themselves playing that first quarter just down one. Don't know if they can keep up the pace of play that we've sped them up into, but...
It's another one on Macy. We'll find out if that's 2 or 3.
They got her down.
Still saying it's
She got her second foul, so I'm going to roll with it, I guess. They may have a foul out there on somebody that we don't know about.
14 fouls on the Lady Tigers, only 2 on Lady Bull. That should be 3 seconds. She's camped in there. No good. Rebound's going to go to Maddie Hart. Freshman on there, Parker Lopez. She's got the ball, drives, no problem, lays it up. Oh, no good, and rebound goes. Not normal for her. To Harrison. Shot, no good. Rebound, gonna go.
Should go to the Tigers. You know, Parker Lopez, quite a story. Years ago, and she was preparing to step into the Tiger basketball, her father went out and poured basically a full half-court slab. And I don't even think the concrete was actually dry before she was out there beginning to work on it. And I know she's worked on it every single day. Watching her grow up basically has been kind of fun. She's fearless with the ball. I mean, fearless.
There's Maddie Harton for three, short again, and this time that's going to be a walk. Yep, going to be a walk. Nice hustle that time by Tori Watkins.
So
unfortunately,
if you can't get the jump, you sling them around on the floor. That's a walk. I like it.
14-13, Lady Tigers with the lead. There's Maddie Harton, another three, again short. And
telling you.
There's something about this side of the gym, and we've been short on a lot of calls. This one no good. Rebound goes to Harrison, and it's up and in.
Coach Proud is going to have a duck.
Oh,
if they continue just not boxing out.
Here's Parker Lopez. She gives it up to Taylor Hart for three. Bottom. There we go. 17-15. That's 4 3-pointers.
4 3-pointers for the Lady Tigers. And Harrison, Jake, you made a good call early about their offense that Waldron's running, trying to get to that free throw line. And it kind of reminds me, there's Harton with the steal. A lesser version of the John Calipari offense. It's that dribble drive motion offense where they really try to attack that middle of the floor. So it's a good call by Jake. It looks like Waldron's doing exactly that.
He wants to take it right to the center, and if it's open, they'll take that. They'll drive. They worked really hard yesterday on passing off the offensive guy, but then they also will kick it out from time to time. But 3 players are looking to stop 3 players, and I'm guessing one of them is Nikki Harrison.
Yeah, she's got 8 points. So she's off to a good start for Waldron.
She's got half their points here. Oh, she's going to get called for walk. A little bit of shuffle on the foot there. We talked about this during the district tournament, but Parker Lopez just seems, to be a freshman, just fearless.
She has no qualms about playing. And the other thing is, this is one of the neat things about being from Prairie Grove is she knows all these girls. She's played and scrimmaged against most of these girls for the most part. The Harton twins and, you got Taylor Doss over there. They all came up, Camry Bartholomew. The Tiger basketball team, although we have 4 seniors on the court right now, the Tiger basketball program's in pretty good shape for next year.
Absolutely. And they're light on seniors next year. I think there's only 1 junior on the team right now.
A couple of classes coming up that could be very, very, very exciting.
Well, here it comes.
Because being in the districts is not exciting enough,
Well, Maddie Harton makes the basket. Well, here's the thing. Maddie and Taylor Harton have played all year. We forget they've got 2 more years to go. Then this is a great experience for them playing in these regional and district tournaments.
It's going to seem very weird when the season is finally done, whenever it is, when we don't see that young lady out there on the court, Lacey Beeks.
3 seconds.
3 seconds, they're going to call it. Yeah,
Okay.
Good call.
Lacey Beeks has been in a Tiger uniform since she was in the 6th grade, I think, and has played up just about every time.
Yeah, she's always played up, even in the 7th and 8th grade, and then in the 9th grade she played up. And, it's a little bit like Justine Huber
like
last
Kendra
year.
and Justine.
Yeah. One of the treats I had this year during the season, and I think Lance was calling the game with me, we had Kendra Coyle and Ashton Asher join us, shot miss, for an interview at halftime, and just getting their perspective on the program was just a treat for me. I really enjoyed talking to them, especially now they've been out of the program for a couple of years, to hear their perspective. It's kind of like a sorority with these girls.
And the perspective changes when they're not running the hill. We can't buy a basket right now, but we're just not owning the offensive rebound.
And
there's Lacey.
Beeks gets it in, 21-15. Lady Tigers now up by 6. Been up by as many as 8.
And Beeks with 10 points, leading all scorers in the ballgame.
Timeout by Coach Vigil. With 4:05 to go here in the first half, the Lady Tigers up by 6. Stay with us after this game. The boys game will be immediately following. We'll take a short break afterwards, but stay with us. The boys will play Dardanelle. And Derek, if I remember the last time we played in a regional, the last time we played in a regional, we lost to Clarksville.
Was it?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was Dardanelle or Clarksville.
Yeah.
Playing in the regional. That's right. Clarksville in 2010. Is that right?
2011.
11.
We had Huber
2000.
and Beeks.
Yep,
Jalen Beeks,
that's
the great
right.
pitcher where the
That's
Razorbacks
right.
played that year. We lost to Clarksville, who was eventually the state champions. And then
Well, when you lose to the eventual state champion, you got to feel pretty good about yourself.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't get a runner-up trophy or anything. We played Dardanelle in 2008, I believe, which was Lynn, your son Ty's junior year. Yeah, they did. They did.
I can't remember. They had a superstar down there. We had a hard
Yeah.
time guarding.
Who called the timeout there, Lynn? Was that another one taken by?
I think they're doing a little clock check.
Oh, okay, okay.
Wow, almost lost it just on the initial. And now the Lady Tigers applying some full court pressure.
Oh, almost carried it.
Lady Tigers, 21-15. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Drive all the way in. Nice job by Ashley Sims. Took it all the way. You know, the Lady Bulldogs have quite a few juniors and sophomores on this roster.
He has to feel good about his team from going into next season.
Abby Smith.
I think this is the first time we've seen zone defense for Waldron.
Parker Lopez misses the three. Boy, she is, we said she's fearless. She'll throw a three, she'll drive.
She's truly worked on every aspect of her game. She's probably one of the more coachable girls you'll ever meet as well. Just really nice.
Nice facility here in Lincoln, Arkansas for the regional tournament. And close.
That's the part I like about it the most.
Yes. The trip over here didn't cost near as much as it did last year to Maumelle, did it? I'm curious to see how long the Waldron coach keeps Stamps on the bench.
Wow. Well, when you're getting baskets like that, you can do it.
Yeah, they're staying close with us. She's got 2 fouls, and she's set for most of this quarter, if not all of it.
Dawn Salmon. With the basket.
Now, how will they attack the zone here, Derek?
Well, I think we keep doing what we've been doing, and Waldron's doing a nice job giving a lot of attention to Beeks as Harton goes inside. Couldn't get that one to fall, and she's going to get the foul, I believe.
That's 5 team fouls on the Lady Tigers. That's going to be Harton's first.
But I think what the Waldron coach is saying, all right, PG, you've started off hot from the outside. I want to see if you can continue it. And I think we're going to get some good looks outside. It's just going to be a matter of knocking them down. We've done a pretty good job so far, but he's kind of taking his bet that we're not going to be able to continue that. There's a good job breaking the press from Waldron.
And they tie the game after the timeout.
Tori Watkins with that basket.
After the timeout, 6 straight points for the Lady Bulldogs. They've kept it close. I got to tell you guys, when we started this thing, I thought we were in for a blowout today, but boy, the Lady Bulldogs aren't going away.
The coach is evidently making some very good inspirational speeches in halftimes. After timeouts, because they've come out smoking after every timeout.
Parker can't just get one to fall for. She had a couple of looks and no good. And now the Lady Bulldogs with a chance to take a lead with 1.5 minutes to go in the first half.
The one thing that Waldron is not doing a really good job of right now is defensive rebounding, and our girls are doing a great job of going to the offensive boards and getting second and third chances. Just hadn't been able to knock down some of them and convert. Let's see if we can get something in fast break here.
There's Abby Smith driving. Boy, just not knocking it down. No foul called. 1 minute to go here in the first half. There's Maddie Hart. Boy, you got to be pleased if you're a Lady Bulldog fan. Being a 4 seed against the 1 seed. Defending state tournament finalist.
But you kind of have to wonder, do they wonder when we're going to poke this dog and they're going to wake it up?
And throws the ball away with 30 seconds to go. I made a mistake on the Major Ogilvy. I found out who that was just now. I went through the text.
It was not Henry, huh?
Mr. Zach
Mistake.
Arns.
Oh, okay.
He's our football color guy and did a basketball game or two with me, too. Shot on the way. No good. And, guys, I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised. And if you're a Lady Bulldog fan, you got to be happy. It's all tied up at 21. Derek, what's the stats looking like here in the first half?
Well, we thought Colgin had picked up 2 fouls. Apparently, according to the scoreboard, she just has 1. And then for Stamps, for Waldron, she set the entire second quarter with the 2 fouls, so she should be back in for the third quarter. It was interesting, though. It was Colgin out of the game for the most part of that second quarter. So I'm thinking that it was just a scoreboard error, because I think if she only had 1 foul, I think she would have been in there at the end. Scoring-wise, Nikki Harrison for Waldron has 8, and Beeks for the Lady Tigers has 10 points. But, guys, this game feels like it's one of those games you got to create your own energy. And I think Coach Froud is trying to make that happen with the full-court pressure defense. But it's a light crowd. Waldron doesn't have hardly anybody here. It's an early start time. And when you get into situations like this, sometimes you just got to make your own energy out there on the floor. And hopefully we'll be able to get that a point across to our team at halftime.
Oh, I will guarantee you there'll be some points made at halftime.
There will be some points emphasized maybe about that very thing at halftime, and we'll come out and see a different team. But you started seeing us kind of settle for those jump shots late in the second quarter, and I think that was part of Waldron's strategy, is to see if we can stay hot from the outside and beat us from the outside. And we weren't necessarily able to do that in that second quarter, Jake.
Well, one of the things that you have to realize is that when you're in any sort of tournament, these teams, you can't just look at their record and go, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk. They've earned it to get here in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and it's only going to get tougher from this point on. Yep. So, and when you got March Madness, where are the biggest upsets?
Yeah,
the
first rounds early on. And, you don't need to look any further than our boys team last week. We came into that district tournament as a 4 seed, ended up winning. You just never know what can happen when a team gets hot at the right time. And Waldron seems to be, that hot team right now. That first half was a really good half for them, not the best that we can play. I think we'll come out and play a little bit extra motivated.
So what do you think some adjustments that Coach Froud could possibly make
moving
forward?
Beeks with the 10 points, but 2 of those were from the outside, Jake. So I think, and we saw this in the Farmington game with their zone defense, anywhere Lacey goes on the inside, there's 2 or 3 girls around her.
And that's been the concentration of every team we've seen in the last 3 weeks has been shut down Lacey Beeks.
Yeah, and you say they've done a good job. She still has 10 points. She's on pace for a 20-point game. But when they switched to that zone defense, you saw us have a little bit of a harder time getting the ball inside to Lacey. She was doing a good job getting offensive rebounds and so forth. But we've got to get the ball into her hands a little bit more, either inside or outside, and so that she can make some things happen.
It's almost as if, with the last few games that we played, we've seen a lot of physical play. And in this particular game, we've had just maybe a total of maybe 6 or 7 fouls.
Yeah, right. I think there's 7 fouls.
So it's a thing where I'm wondering if the lack of physicality has got the Tigers kind of in a little bit of a lull of sleep. Maybe that was a very short halftime.
Yes, it was.
So I don't know if everything was said in one swoop or, I really don't know. But
yeah, well, that's a good point, Jay, because if you remember last week we played Lincoln in the first round of district. They had the most physical girl I've seen this year, that little row girl that just put her head down and barreled into you. She didn't care. We followed that up 2 nights later playing Ozark and the big Heffington girl inside. And then you play Farmington the next night, who may be the most physical team. Yeah. And this is a different type of game. Waldron is not as physical, but they've done a really good job position defense, fundamental position defense, and doing a nice job matching up with our girls. You could see our girls, they were in the locker room for about 3 minutes, so the point was short and maybe not too sweet from Coach Froud, and they're back out shooting.
I can guarantee you it wasn't sweet. Now, on the flip side, the Waldron coach has to be in there going, girls, did you think we were going to be here at halftime?
Right, yeah. And they've got to feel good about themselves, but I think you're going to see a different team come out for the Lady Tigers in the second half. I think we're going to come out, get off to a fast start, and that was the thing about it. We got off to a great start in the first quarter, had a 10-2 lead, and couldn't maintain that momentum we had early. We just kind of relaxed, like you said, and you can't do that at a regional. Everybody's playing for their season tonight and tomorrow night.
What I'm going to be looking at in the beginning of the first half would be you can create intensity a lot easier defensively than you can offensively. And I look for Coach Proud, maybe a full court press right off the bat, or maybe meets them at half court. But I think you're going to be looking for some traps. I think you're going to be looking for a lot of pressure from the Lady Tigers.
A good point, especially since you mentioned we're not in any kind of foul trouble at all. Even if Macy does have the 2 fouls, we're in good position there, so we can come out and really be physical and try to create some things with our defense in the second half.
Create some energy for us.
Yep.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office, for telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV. Think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress. I wonder if Buck Lewis had any idea as to what he was starting when he sold his first Ford back in 1946. He was on the square in Fayetteville. Then Tom and Herb Lewis made the move to the current location on North College back in 1969. But through all those years, a Lewis has always been at the helm, and that tradition continues today. It's that kind of family value and heritage that makes Lewis Automotive the place to buy your next vehicle. Be it a Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, or Jeep, new or used, you can still find a Lewis standing behind every single deal. Award-winning service, 6 locations, and over 1,000 vehicles. It's amazing. A lot has changed, but the Lewis heritage and tradition continues. Lewis Automotive, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas since 1946. Something's missing. Your life just seems to have that little something that hasn't fallen into place, and you've tried all the world has to offer, and you still have that empty feeling. Does it sound way too familiar? Well, Prairie Grove Christian Church invites you to experience God on a personal level, and don't worry about being judged. We all have sinned and fall short of the glory. But at Prairie Grove Christian Church, we're all about loving God, loving others, and serving others. And PGCC has something for every member of the family. Kids, youth, adults, and more. And 2 services on Sunday that you're sure to find one that fits your schedule and your needs. Simply put, God tells us to seek Him first, and all these things will be added unto you. What are all these things? It's called a Christian life, and we invite you to feel the difference this Sunday at Prairie Grove Christian Church. You just bought that first home, or maybe the first new car, and you want it properly covered. Think Shelter Insurance and Mark Spence. Or maybe you just welcomed into the world that little gift of a child. You want to make sure that their future's secure. Think Mark Spence and Shelter Insurance. Let's face it, you want someone local, someone that you know, someone that can be by your side when you need them to be there. Think Mark Spence and Shelter Insurance. Home, life, auto, RV, boat, motorcycle insurance. Think Mark Spence, your local Shelter Insurance agent. Call 846-2999. That's 846-2999. Shelter Insurance and Mark Spence proudly support Tiger athletics and activities. Take a stroll down memory lane as you stride into Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, where things are done the old-fashioned way. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and even late night, you'll find only the best. Breakfast to die for, a lunch offering fresh burgers and fries, and dinner platters that are sure to keep you coming back for more. And did we mention hand-dipped shakes, as well as a great selection of desserts? It all awaits you at Steak and Shake, located just south of the mall. Steak and Shake, life needs flavor.
Welcome back. It's time for the second half. And Derek, you and Jake were talking about what we needed to accomplish in the second half. I got to tell you, I really did. When it was 10-2 and we were, 2.5 minutes in the game, I'm like, okay, well, we'll be having to have filler time in the second half. But the Lady Bulldogs did not go away. They played extremely well, didn't lose their cool. And you got to credit them. They've gotten a lot of loose balls. We haven't boxed out well at times.
No.
And so I think that you got to credit them.
of all the basics that we have not done, the boxing out has been an issue.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Jake. If I will be surprised if at the end of the third quarter we don't have a decent lead. I'm talking 8 to 12 points. And I'm not saying that in disrespect to Waldron. It's just I think if you look at the two teams and how they and how they played so far as the talent level, I think we're a better team.
Well, you know,
and Coach Froud, if he didn't light them up a half, I'd be surprised.
I don't know if I'm noticing something that I've never seen before, but every single Lady Tiger has their shooting shirt off, ready to go in the game. Typically, they leave that shooting shirt on. He may have gone in there and said, hey, you five don't get it done. He has no qualms going deep into the bench and getting some girls some playing time, even this late into the season. So there's a lot of interesting dynamics, shall we say.
And Gravitt stays in that matchup zone on defense, trying to really take away Beeks on the inside.
There's Abby Smith off the mark, and now fight for the ball, and it's going to go to.
Could have gone either way, but.
And I think that's one of the things that we need to not do is settle for the three-point shot without the ball ever having gone inside with the dribble or with the pass. We got to work inside out. We can get that outside shot just about any time against the type of defense that Waldron's
A little bit more
played.
patience, maybe.
Yes.
Well, they go inside. I think it's
and they're going to get the basket and a foul, and now
that's Lindsey Stamps with the basket.
Now the Lady Bulldogs have had as much as a 2-point lead has been their biggest lead. They have a chance to go 3. And I think if this stays the way it is, this will send shockwaves throughout the state as far as girls basketball.
Well, Lynn, we've seen, 4 seeds knock off 1 seeds before at regional tournaments. Strange things happen when you're in a one-and-done situation, and right now we're seeing some strange things out on the floor.
There's little goblins out there causing some bad
something's
stuff.
going on, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember there was a great Huntsville girls team back in like 07 or something, and they were favored to win the state, and they lost in the first round to a team. Really, you go back and look that really should have won. But
yeah, they would have beat 99 out of 100 times
double
probably.
Dribble, I thought. 24-21. And one of you guys said this earlier, we do not look like we're playing with the same intensity. We're playing down. I don't know what it is. We just don't look like the same team that I've seen the past couple of weeks as we've been in district tournament and then in critical games with Ozark and
Well,
Farmington.
every game we had over the last 3 weeks was a big game. They just extend their lead to 5 now.
That's the largest lead of the game for Waldron, and I'll tell you guys, the Lady Tigers are struggling to get through this first round. They trail by 5.
There we go. There it goes inside.
Callie, no foul called, and now and another. Wow.
Yeah, we're not playing with that edge, definitely, that we saw last week at the district tournament. There's a good block out by Harton and a rebound by Beeks. Maybe this will get us going.
Look at Callie come down. Did you see Callie hustle down just in case the ball was missed or needed a pass? She was there, 26-23.
I know that Macy was talking after the ball game against Farmington, and the next day, the adrenaline rush and the physicality of that game, she was spent. She spent the whole day in bed.
A three-pointer there, Jake. Ashley Sims buries it. It's 29-23, and the Lady Tigers are in trouble.
Yeah,
I say that. They're in a slow wake-up process.
Hand check there. I think that's going to be
It's
the second
very
on
slow wake-up
Watkins.
process.
It's been a very slow wake-up process.
And I think part of it was last week we felt like we had something to prove. We played that Ozark team who had already beaten us. We played Farmington who had beaten us twice in the season.
And now with a chance to go up 8, possibly 9. There's This is one of those games where I think you come in, you expected to win.
Wow, they got Callie with 3 fouls.
We found the missing foul. I guess it was on Callie Robinson, so she's got 3, and I only had her down for 2 there. So Macy probably just still has the 2 fouls.
Callie's going to take a seat. Maddie Harden comes in and takes her place. I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of feeling like there's just a moment where we're going to wake up and explode and everything's going to be fine.
Well, let's hope so, Jake.
Missing those 2 free throws might help us out a little bit.
Yeah. And that's a good point, Jake. We've only shot 3 free throws. Goodness gracious.
Throw it away again, guys. This is just not Lady Tiger basketball that we're used to seeing.
Good help there from Abby.
Abby Smith driving.
Force the issue.
Taylor Harton for 3, no good, and rebound goes to the Lady Bulldogs.
Derek, you feel like they're just a little impatient right now?
Well, I do, Jake, and I was going to make the point. Saturday night it felt like to me in the district championship game, it felt like Farmington was the team playing with all the pressure on them, and they got a little tight there in that ball game. And I think you're seeing the same thing from the Lady Tigers. I think, the pressure is on us. We are favored to win this game, and I think you're seeing a little bit of tightness from our girls right now. My goodness.
Bottom three-pointer.
And it's 32-23, 4 minutes to go.
Emily
The Lady
Black.
Tigers.
The 10 or so Waldron fans are being very vocal.
They are. They're making themselves known right now. And Coach Froud kind of threw his arms up in the air like, what are we doing? And the matchup zone defense has really given us some problems ever since Waldron switched to it. They went from kind of a soft man-to-man defense to now this matchup defense, and we've had a hard time scoring since they've gone to that. Beeks has got 12 points. She's got over half of our points, but she's probably gotten 12 points on about 6 or 7 shots, so she's just not getting enough touches inside.
Well, Derek, here's what I see with us right now, and that is this. I said there was going to be an 8 or 9 point lead. I did not think it was going to be
right.
Waldron, but they are playing, and they want to go to state, and they're playing hard, and our girls are going to have to pick up the intensity.
Oh, for sure.
And they're going to have to start making some shots, or we're going to be the girls will be watching.
Well, Waldron believes right now they can win this game.
A lot of times when you say pick up the intensity, you automatically think pick up the pace. I think what the Tigers need to do, honestly, this is going to sound a little weird, slow down, run your offense, and score some points.
Execute. Yeah, exactly right. Execute.
Play your game. It's still your ball game, and you can sit, but you can't do that.
Wow, the turnovers are really.
And right now, that's the story of the game.
Wow,
turnovers.
That would have been a double-digit lead for the Lady Bulldogs, and Abby Smith with the ball. We need to
slow it down and look.
Well, one of the reasons we need to make a basket, guys, is you got
so
to
we can
play
press.
defense.
Yeah, we haven't been able to press because we've been turning the ball over.
What was the score at halftime, Darren?
21 all. 21 all.
So
at
we
halftime.
scored 2 points this whole half so far.
Come on, Abby.
No good, and the defensive pressure continues to give us problems. And guys, we are in trouble. Now we're getting close to the fourth quarter.
Lynn.
Well, and I'll say this, Lynn, when you are a kind of an underdog situation and you've got a lead, 10 minutes and 40 seconds seems like an eternity. So there is plenty of time for us to get back in the ball game and win this thing, but we got to get going.
Well, the other thing that you got to look at here, you get this thing down low enough, you don't have to shoot.
Yeah.
You can waste a lot of clock. There's a three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound goes to Beeks. I think Beeks is going to have to have the leadership here and kind of take over a little bit.
And that's what's going to have to happen with the seniors. The seniors, you hear about it all season long, but this is their team, and Lacey is no stranger to putting the team on her back and saying, hey, Kane, let's go, let's get it done. But I tell you what, they are just doing a great job of cutting down the passing angles inside to Lacey, and that's creating some problems.
And there's a missed shot. We got a good look that time, not able to finish. And we're down under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and Lady Tigers are down 9.
Yeah, we've settled down defensively and done a better job, but we have not converted into points on the offensive end. I think this is the third or fourth possession in a row for Waldron to try to get this thing to a double-digit lead.
We've scored 2 points in this half.
Yeah.
And if you're Waldron right now, there's no reason to rush. You could run this whole quarter out.
And I think you'll see the half-court defense step up and try to force a turnover for Waldron here.
There's been a lot of, there's a shot on the way, no good. And now the Lady Tigers need to close strong right here.
Not sure what Coach Fowler was wanting on that particular deal.
A blocking foul, and he's going to get 2 shots. I'll tell you guys, if we could get a 2-shot here, maybe get a turnover on a press and kind of close this thing down for the end of the quarter. But
well, we've seen this. You know, you talk about a 9-point lead, and that's big, but that's 3 shots away from being tied.
Yeah.
You know, so it's 3 possessions away from being tied. In this case, you know, we get here to the free throw line, we kind of carve into it a little bit. Taylor looks like she might be shaking up a little bit. Took a pretty good shot.
And you're right about that, Lynn, too. If we can finish this quarter on a nice run, it totally changes the complexion of the game. It puts the pressure back on Waldron, which right now we're kind of playing with all that pressure.
And it'll be interesting to see what we do with them after this free throw.
Yep. I would almost bet that we're going to come in and play full court defense and probably see a trap or 2 set in the back court.
Well, Derek, I'm also,
here comes Abby.
If I'm not mistaken, is this Ozark next to us over here, or is that Berryville?
Looking for the trap back here.
You know, I don't.
Almost got it. Oh,
that's a double. Should have been a
double.
Woulda, coulda.
Yep.
That's Berryville girls next to us, Lynn. They're getting ready to play at 7 o'clock tonight.
Our student section finally comes to life as they see that we're in trouble.
This is a big possession for both teams right here.
The Tigers now, here they come. They're going to try to trap it.
Good job by Harrison.
I think if we pressure the ball, guys, I think we can get the turnovers. They don't, I mean,
there's almost one.
We're in no kind of foul trouble, so we should play really aggressively here.
Well, they're going to run this clock down. I was hoping we could get a turnover or something to close this thing down to 5, but now they're going to get the foul with 16.1, and maybe.
I guess that was with the body because she didn't have the hand on her, did she?
No, I think she didn't have any hands on her. It looked like she had a forearm into her. That is Macy's 3rd foul.
Shot on the way, no good. Now with a chance to get a basket.
Yeah,
Guys,
this is
let's get
big,
this thing going.
big right here.
Get it going, let's go. Now Lacey with the ball. Lacey Beeks, that's going to be short. We rushed that, guys. We had an opportunity there. We kind of blew that opportunity. It's 32-25, and I got to tell you, I'm shocked at the way we came out and played in the second half. Only got 4 points. They didn't play. Yep. The Lady Tigers come in as the number 1 seed, Waldron at number 4. And Derek, I think you told me before the game that Ozark handled Waldron pretty well early in the season.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Early in the season. I think it was the first week of December, and you can't really necessarily compare scores, but Ozark did beat this Waldron team by 40 points. You don't know if Waldron had their full amount of players and if Ozark had their full amount of players, but you know, we are a much better team than what we have shown in these 3 quarters. You just hope that we will find a way to step up that level of play. But I think, Jake, you were right about the letdown. My goodness. I heard you talking over the loudspeaker there, Jake. I got your voice on, but I think it has been a little bit of a letdown from our girls, riding that emotional high of the district tournament, the district championship, and coming out just a little bit flat through these first 3 quarters.
But just look at, as you watch, and again, no disrespect to Waldron, they're winning by 7, but as I watch their ball handlers, it just seems like if we would apply some pressure, it seems like we could get it, and we have, and there's been loose balls they hadn't landed in our hands.
I don't think there's anybody in this gym that's not shocked, including the Waldron fans. There's nobody in this gym that's not a little like going, what's going on? It's almost as if we're sleepwalking right now.
Push off. And now it's going to be a foul.
That's a big foul because that's 4 on Stamps. They did a nice job of isolating her on Callie inside, but Callie did an awesome job of just playing position defense, getting her hands straight up, and Stamps is going to have to go sit.
Well, we have to. I think we
need to take advantage of
we
this.
got to right now. Every time
definitely.
down, we need points every time down. We got to play smart.
And with Stamps out of the ball game, that creates a little hole in the lane. Let's run our offense. No need to hit the panic button just yet.
No need to panic, but you got to have a little bit of a sense of urgency to get this thing down. You got to get it down under 5, and then you're in a reasonable place. But
And I know Beeks can work as inside as well as anybody, but I'm a little bit surprised that she's inside and you got Callie on the outside.
And just stuff like that is just killing us,
just
guys.
A little sloppiness right there. Here comes the pressure in the full court. Maybe we can we're going to have to get something easy. Dangerous pass by Waldron, but it worked out for them.
That was a walk.
They're going to call us for the walk.
They miss one walk and get us on the turnover.
I'll tell you, this is
you're beginning to see a look on the Waldron Bulldogs' faces that they're like, hey, we're on the verge of something pretty neat here.
And when that happens, Jake, the pressure just tightens up a little bit for Waldron. Will they try to slow things down and get too conservative with this lead?
Well, the thing is we that last possession where we could have cut the lead down to 4 or 5 and we came up empty-handed just because we dribbled it off our foot. I mean,
yep. And I'm looking at the free throws. We've only shot 4 free throws in the ball game. We're used to getting to the line 20, 25, even 30 times a ball game. Just have not gotten there tonight.
Wow, back to 7 or 8, 9-point lead, and now, guys, defensively, we have to get this thing closed. We got to get it closed quickly, or this.
This is a must score.
This is a must score, absolutely.
And Coach Froud still got 4 timeouts. And there we finally get the ball inside to Lacey at the high post. They collapsed on her as expected. Well, Waldron is just playing very good position defense. I mean, they are not out of position many times. Got to come with defensive pressure here, girls. And that's fine. We're still a long ways away from the bonus, Lynn and Jake, so we've got a lot of time to amp up the pressure.
It's the defense. I got to tell you, it's Waldron's defense that's giving us trouble right now.
Well, it's a combination of defense and our impatience. We're just not being very patient with the ball right now, and we're really making some very uncharacteristic, unforced errors. Taylor needs to be a little bit the defensive back there, and she's going in the other way. It's a pick 6.
Derek, and I'm going to turn to you for this. I'm surprised we're not doing a little more trap defense here.
Well, I am a little bit. We've seen us do that before in the half court, Lynn, to try to create some offense and create some turnovers. We ran it a couple of times where we ran an extra defender at the ball handler. But Harrison, you got to credit her too. The time that we ran that, she just dribbled right out of the trap to get us out of it.
Let's take a timeout with them. With 6:07, the Lady Tigers trailed 34-25.
The schools participating in this football playoff game are members of the Arkansas Activities Association as authorized by the school boards. The administrators of these schools have helped to write the rules and regulations that govern participation of students in competitive activities for the schools that are members of the Arkansas Activities Association. The Arkansas Activities Association, which is sponsoring this football playoff game, is a voluntary nonprofit educational association of some 500 junior and senior public and private high schools of Arkansas. The regulations which guide these events are adopted by the schools themselves and determine the type of program they believe to be the most desirable for high school youth. The Arkansas Activities Association.
6:07 to go in the game. It's a 10-point lead for the Waldron Lady Bulldogs.
That's Nikki Harrison at the line. She's a junior.
And
she's got 13 points to lead all scorers in the ball game.
It's an 11-point lead, and now the Lady Tigers are on the verge. They have defensively, we got to find a way to close this lead. And Lacey Beeks has got to.
That's a block.
That's a blocking foul.
You know, they're giving her a pretty good look out there on the 3-pointer. She thought about it, but she knows our bread and butter is down up underneath. Not a bad move here to see Parker Lopez because she's, like we said, fearless on the inside.
And I think a little bit of an adjustment there by Coach Froud to step Lacey away from the basket outside the paint to get her a touch there and see if she could get something going.
Just get the ball in her hands.
Just get the ball in her hands and see what happens. There's Macy with a nice cut to the basket. There we go.
It's got.
Now we'll have full court pressure.
And you got to be smart here.
You got to take better angles. We've taken really bad angles at this trap. Not a whole lot of pressure.
That's Macy's first 2 points of the ball game, so maybe that'll get us going.
But we got it, guys. If you're every time down, you can take 30, 40 seconds off. If you're Waldron,
there's a
timeout. 5:22 to go. This would be by far, this would be the biggest upset in the regional tournament in year. I'd say since the 2007 Huntsville loss, this would be a shocker.
I was looking at the last 2 quarters of play for the Lady Tigers, Lynn. The third quarter, we scored 4 points. The second quarter, 7. So 11 points in 16 minutes of play. And just a minute ago before Macy hit that shot, we were down 11 points with about 6 minutes to play. So we really got to get it going here.
Waldron just called a timeout, and after every single timeout they've called, they have been sparked, and they've made some fantastic adjustments. So we'll kind of see what they did during that particular timeout. He didn't take them over there very long, so they have a plan. Looking for the trap.
She's in trouble now. There we go.
There you go. Now the intensity is going to turn up, and the fans are getting into it. I think Prairie Grove fans have been a little bit like
shocked.
Yeah.
Our fans were sleepwalking like the team was for those
This
first
is where
three
you
quarters.
got to close here, guys. We're down 9. We really got to close here, and there's got to be a sense of urgency. And Coach Froud sees it too. There it is.
Great give and go.
We just got to make the shots, guys. Coach Froud's beside himself. And I tell you, that was.
Oh. It's on Abby. That'll be her third, I believe.
Second foul. 36. Now, from here on, they're in the bonus, which may not be the worst thing because, they got to make free throws. But, boy, we got to make, when we get the turnovers like we did with the.
No, that's not. She just fell.
That time, I think she just fell. But, guys.
Parker Lopez.
That's Parker's first. At the line, number 22, Emily Black.
She's a senior, so you look for her to. This is old school for her.
Free throw on the way, and it's good. Back to a 10-point lead. And the Lady Bulldogs are starting to believe. I think they're starting to think we are going to upset the number 1 seed. Here's a second one on the way. This one's in and out. And now the Lady Tigers must convert each time down. Get the ball in the hands. There's Parker Lopez.
Well, they're just shutting down that lane.
There we
Macy.
go. Oh.
And just not making, guys.
Yeah.
Just not making it. And we're down to 4. We're halfway through the 4th quarter.
Watch that arm.
And
Abby going strong with that forearm.
we got good shots the last 2 times down, just not able to convert.
Great help there by Taylor Harton.
And that's going to be our ball. And I'll tell you, guys,
We needed that.
we have got to make baskets. We got in there twice the last 2 times down. We got it in close, just not able to make it.
Yeah, it was a great split of the defense by Macy that time. She went right in between 2 defenders, and I think she was a little surprised she was open at the rim and couldn't quite get it to go in.
Macy Colton for 3.
There we go.
There we go. 37-30. Now it's got to turn up.
Now the pressure's on Waldron. Now they're feeling a little bit.
Take a better angle. Help her out there, Mace.
Yeah, that's what we needed right there with a little turn there. We're down to 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes and a half.
Big rebound there by Parker
Yes,
Lopez.
big
Now,
miss.
here
Now
we
just
go.
settle down and let's get some points. Lacey just putting the thing and
Foul.
saying, I'm going to take care of business right now.
And I'll tell you, 3:22 to go, down 37-30. I got to tell you, this place is in, you said it, Jake, I think just everyone's in shock. I kept people thinking, whoa, we're going to come back. And now only a 7-point lead, or only down 7 when we were down by as many as 11. Beeks needs to knock these down. And then another turnover. You pulled in 3, and you really got a shot here. But Lacey misses the first one. And we got to have.
We just looked flat on all aspects of the game, and returning is Lindsey Stamps.
3:22, and boy, we need a turnover on the press if we can knock down a free throw here. But Beeks second one on the way. This one's good. And now we need another turnover.
You can see we've sped Waldron up these last couple of possessions, doing exactly what we need to be doing. Let's see if we can get another one.
5 seconds.
Abby going hard through that screen.
I'm surprised again, Derek, that we're not trapping a little bit. We're just playing a man-to-man and not trapping. You can't. It's hard to get the turnover there.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, when they're Waldron's got some pretty good ball handlers. They've
Abby
been able to get away from us. That's the third foul on Abby, and now another one.
That's the wrong one at the foul line.
Yeah, I think so.
There's plenty of other girls to foul, and this is it.
Pressure's getting to him. Oh my
Jump
goodness.
ball's going to go, and boy, we needed that. The jump ball goes to the Lady Bulldogs.
Well, guys, you're sitting there, and that's your ball to have.
Yeah,
you got to
have that one. Yep.
They missed the 1-and-1, which is what you needed, and now you got to trap the ball, guys. You got to trap it. This is where you need to trap right here.
Now they're looking to trap, which that's impressive,
guys,
for the Bulldogs to be.
Beeks for 3, no good. Maybe a little bit of a panic shot that time, guys. We're down to 2 minutes.
Well, if you're the Lady Tigers, keep speeding them up. Waldron is taking shots for really no reason right here.
Well,
we've got him playing where we want him.
Now you got to foul. You got to foul.
Yeah, Coach Frow's calling for the foul. The refs won't even call. We were trying to foul. The refs finally called. Coach Frow's going to take a timeout.
Guys, this is a critical foul here. If they get back up by 8, man, that last time down, I know Beeks took a shot. It wasn't a bad shot, but it may have been a little quick. Would like to see her go to the basket. 2:13 to go.
There's a couple of things that can happen when you're forcing that on the inside. You could sink the basket, get the foul. That's going to swing some momentum in your favor. But we have missed a boatload of three-pointers today.
Yeah, we have. We've kind of settled sometimes from the outside. We got off. Sometimes the worst thing you can do, Jake, is hit some early three-point shots, and then you fall in love with those threes. And I think that's a little bit of what happened to us. We hit 2 or 3 early ones and started settling for those threes instead of going back inside. You got to credit Waldron, too. They've really done a good job inside defensively.
I think what Waldron's done is they've stayed within themselves and played within their system.
They really have, yeah.
And we have not, and we've had a lot of unforced turnovers. The story of the game is we're not in our sync. We had a lot of unforced turnovers that that we paid for dearly.
The last couple of minutes, we have started to turn the tide a little bit. Waldron has tried to do a little bit too much on the offensive end when they really didn't need to. So you got to credit our girls for speeding them up a little bit. But as Lynn said, we're down to 2 minutes and 14 seconds. 2 minutes and 13 seconds.
Well,
we
guys,
got to do a lot of work
right
in a short
here,
amount of time.
Every she makes both these. We got to have some turnovers, and Waldron doesn't have to shoot again. Misses the free throw.
1-1. They missed 3 in a row from the free throw line.
So now's the time, guys. You've got to score. Parker Lopez.
Got it. Full court pressure. That's what he's looking for.
We got to press over here, guys.
Here comes the trap. Here comes the trap, and now we're going to get that ball.
And we're going to
get
it.
Our ball.
A basket is needed here, big time. Got to have the basket. And I'll tell you.
Is gonna
Come on, Abby.
Big. Abby, you got to run it, girl. There's a sense of urgency you got to have here. She's going to be fouled. She's going to go to the line, can close the lead down to 2 with 1:48 to go.
I do believe that Coach Proud, I think he wants to get on Taylor Harton's back so bad and just kind of ride her a little bit. The intensity on the defense is just not what we're used to seeing on the trap. We got to have these shots.
Abby Smith got the first one, 37-34. And if you can get to the tie game, if we can somehow get the tie game, then it puts a lot of
and now you got plenty of time. One possession game, a lot of time left. A lot of time left.
Cut her off, cut her off. And a timeout's called with 1:42 to go.
Again, that's smart play by Waldron there, not forcing it. They're going to call a timeout to have another shot.
They got one left, yep.
Well, guys, this is a critical possession right here. Now, if we do foul, they have 2 shots from here on out.
Yep. But, Lynn, the flip side of that is they're only 4 out of 9 at the free throw line. So we're seeing kind of the same thing. Farmington the other night did not shoot a good percentage from the free throw line against us. And so far, you miss 5 free throws in a game like this, Jake. That's huge.
Well, I would rather us get a defensive steal and not put them on the line.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you there. But even if you put them at the line, they have struggled, especially here in the fourth quarter. 3 out of 6. They've had some opportunities in the fourth quarter and haven't been able to convert. I think you're going to see the same thing. Even if we foul, we're going to bring extreme pressure on this inbounds pass in this full court. They still got to go the length of the floor here.
It'd be great to get a turnover here, Derek, and just not have to put them on the line, and then you can play straight up, you know.
And if we get the ball, Lynn, you'd like to get something quick because we are still down 2 points. You don't want to milk the clock at all. I mean, you still got to have kind of a sense of an urgency on offense. But we got to get the stop first. Here comes the trap.
Here comes the trap. Oh,
that was a
wounded duck waiting to be had.
That was, and they got it. Just keep speeding them up, girls. Just keep speeding them up. They've only got 1 timeout left.
You don't have a lot of time to waste here. I'm surprised we're still not.
And I don't think you have to foul yet, Lynn. I really don't. There we go. There we go.
Yes.
And we're all tied up at 37. 37 all, 1 minute to go in the game. 1 minute to go. 37-37. And they spend their last timeout. 50.9 seconds. Well, I got to tell you, I'm still surprised we weren't doing a little more trapping on the defensive side whenever they're, we're man-to-man, but we got lucky there. Macy did a great job.
Picked a little pocket. I know she's worked really hard on defense, but you're not going to play for Coach Proud and not play defense. You're going to be a defensive wizard when you leave.
Well, Derek, you were talking about the points and score earlier that we only had 11.
Yeah.
How much have we scored in the last – we scored more in the last probably 3 minutes than we have
we got 12 minutes this quarter. I haven't been tracking it by minutes or anything, but we scored 11 in the previous 2 quarters. We're at 12 now, still a minute left to go in the ball game. And now the key thing is Waldron out of timeout, so if we can get them stuck in a trap.
You get them stuck in a trap now.
Yeah, they're in trouble. I mean, the last time we had them in a trap, they threw a long cross-court pass that was lucky to get there.
We got some options, though, because you foul them, you put them at the line. They haven't shot very well.
Yeah, but they get 2 this time. Here's what I think, guys. If we get the ball back, I think we go ahead and we play for a last shot. And the reason why, because if we go into overtime, I like our chances.
Yeah, we got all the momentum right now. Ever since Waldron had that 11-point lead, man, they just really tightened up, and our girls really ramped up the pressure.
Looking for that trap again.
They get it for an arm there on Stamps for 44.2. So Stamps is going to go to the line.
And Stamps is 1 out of 1 at the free throw line. But these are pressure free throws here.
Now, if she makes them both, you got to go score quickly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
She makes the first one. If she makes this one, you can't waste time. And I still don't think you go for a last shot if she misses it. You got to go score.
Exactly right. Yeah, you got to get something quick.
And then she makes them both. So Lady Tigers got to get the basket quick. Get the ball into Lacey Beeks. Get it. There's Abby Smith. Pull, jumper. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
39
Big
all.
basket.
Huge shot.
Cut her
by
off.
Abby.
Cut her off.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
One pass too many. Call a timeout.
Look at this.
Oh,
now we play for 1 shot. 2-on-1 right here.
Get in.
Oh.
39 all. 39 all. It's 39 all. Dr. Williams taking over the camera up there. Lacey Beeks with a chance. Oh boy, that was a big miss.
Oh.
She's fine. Relax right here, Lacey. You got this.
1 point's as good as 20.
That's
but then
right.
they got a chance for a final shot. Second one on the way. It's good.
Timeout, Prairie Grove.
Coach Froud's going to take a timeout. That missed free throw hurt because
it opened some opportunities.
Absolutely, and I think here.
Well, and I'm a little bit surprised Coach Froud took the timeout right there, Lynn, because Waldron was out of timeouts. Now it gives them a little bit of a chance to set something up offensively.
But at the same time,
now we've got time to set up our defense, and you don't want to give up anything cheap with just a 1 point lead here.
I'll guarantee
very
you,
late.
He's drawing up something. You don't want 24 or 14 to touch the ball.
No.
He's going to try. Those girls will be double team or triple team regardless. He does not want to get beat by them. And honestly, Nikki Harrison has single-handedly kept these girls in this ball game.
Yeah, 14 points in the ball game. She's tied with Beeks for the game lead on leading scores.
I'm a little surprised too that I know we looked like we were getting easy baskets. Probably we might have could have pulled that out and made for the last shot, but
I think on a 2-on-1 you got to go.
Yeah, I agree with that, Derek, because it looked like we had an easy basket. If that had fallen, we'd have been playing for a 3-point play.
Right. And now Coach Froudy is going to back up the defensive pressure here, so he's not going to press.
They're going to pick him up at half. They're going to pick him up at half court.
Here we go. 13 seconds. Yeah, you got to think Harrison's going to get the last shot if she can for Waldron. Let's see who's on her. Abby's going to pick her up. Good hedge by Beeks there. 5 seconds. They're in trouble. That's ball game.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, I tell you, and a thriller and a shocker, even though we pulled it out 40-39. You got to credit the Lady Bulldogs. What a valiant effort there, I'll tell you.
What did I tell you?
I told you we were in trouble. We were. But you said we'd be there at the end of the day, Jake, and you're exactly right. A win's a win. 1 versus 40 points doesn't matter. A win's a win.
This may be the win that the Tigers needed to go, hey, this is for real.
Yeah, So the Lady Tigers, with that 1 point victory, that will send them to the state tournament for, I believe that's the 8th consecutive year that we'll go to the state tournament. And let's, Derek, I'm going to let you finish up the score, and we'll go through that. We'll take a quick break, be back for the boys' game.
Yeah, Waldron, I think a big difference there, Lynn. They got tight. They started to speed up. With about 3 minutes left, they really had no need to do that. But we got to credit our girls. They picked up the pressure, got Waldron to speed up and force some bad shots. Waldron shot 6 of 11 at the free throw line. Lady Tigers 7 out of 10. For the Tigers, I'll go through the scoring real quick. Beeks led all scorers with 14. Smith and Colton with 7. Harton with 6. Harton with 2 and Lopez with 2. The big key in that ball game felt like to me their momentum swung on Macy's 3-point shot. It cut the lead down to 7 and started turning the tide for us a little bit.
The shot and the steal.
We're going to have to run the AAA spot. That's going to do it. Lady Tigers pull out a thriller, 40-39, unexpected thriller, but one nonetheless. We'll be back for the boys' game after the AAA announcement.